All right. So we're talking about the self-driving car again. I'll just reread my position. I don't think a self-driving car should impose its creator's morals upon me, the selfish driver. I wouldn't buy a car that would swerve to kill me in order to save a pedestrian. And
Okay.
and you, I think, were saying something along the lines of cars should not become self-driving because it's like a human thing, and you don't want computers taking over from stuff humans do, like the loom.
No, okay, so let me just
Like
clarify.
you think we should all have looms in our house where we?
No, looms are perfectly fine. Let me just clarify that I think we're heading towards dangerous territory when we start to let technology do too much for us, especially when it comes to driving a car. Um, and what concerns me is when you look at the skill that's required. When you look at the skill that's required to drive a car,
Yeah.
and the amount of how quickly our brain has to respond to things and still, use our send messages back to our feet and our hands and our eyes and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
What's going to happen to the next generation when they don't have to develop those skills because the car is doing everything for them?
They'll get it through video games.
Okay, and then so
or
now
whatever else they do. I mean, the sports.
but
I don't know.
that's a problem also because video games, then they spend too much time doing video games and they lose the social interaction and all those sort of things. I would not. So I agree with you that I'm not going to buy a self-driving car, especially if they're. And I didn't know this feature that they can be designed to swerve to avoid a pedestrian, which could end up me running into.
Yeah, but there's no. It's not that they can be designed to. I mean, that they are being designed to do one or the other. People are still thinking about how to handle those things. I don't know how Tesla is set up, but for sure that's an issue that you want to know about, right? Like, is your car going to suicide you in order to save a dog, or what level does it? A child, an elderly person, uh, uh, someone who's not mentally all there versus like Stephen Hawking. Like, so Stephen Hawking's walking, crossing in front of your car, like, irresponsibly. Are you going to be killed as a result of that? You know, or or what if you have two people in your car, like two passengers, and then there are four people on the street, so you're going to kill them, or like it's the whole trolley problem, isn't it? It's exactly like the trolley problem,
Oh,
except
absolutely.
applied to real life.
So my point is just don't even have the self-driving cars to begin with.
Yeah, but that's all right. I mean, look. So let's shift to your argument then. So you're saying that you shouldn't have self-driving cars because is the argument that it's too dangerous for the road, or is the argument uh, that it's going to take away from human practice skills, driving skills, or what?
It's human development. It's taking away from human presence and mindfulness.
Oh, I totally disagree with that. I couldn't disagree more. I mean, you're never less mindful than when you're in a car. You're listening to your radio, you're cursing the other drivers out and stuff like that. You're not really. I mean, like, if you want to be more mindful, go for a walk in the park.
Yeah, but you're also what I'm talking about. You're also engaging so many different mental stimuli and messages that you're taking in and you're having to respond to and react to, and you're developing and honing those skills whether you realize it or not while you're driving. And I feel like,
okay, so you could get those through video games or you could get it through sports.
Okay, so let's talk about access. And are more people going to get that access through driving, or are they going to get it through sports? I don't know.
Access?
We have to look at the numbers and see, are more people going to be exposed to sports in that time, or video games, or driving?
Well, what do you mean sports? By sports, I just mean exercise. I mean anything. Like, you don't need a team, you don't need someone to play with. You could go do You go practice parkour in the park, or on, like, if you live in the city, you can just jump from building to building. That's how you practice, and it's equally dangerous to driving, so it's another benefit, according to you.
I don't think it's equally. I don't think it's, and I don't think it's as mentally stimulating. And it's one of those passive things where we don't even realize how much mental exercise we're getting from driving because it's all happening passively.
I think this is a terrible argument you're making here, that we need to drive in order to get mental exercise. I think
No,
that's
I'm not
terrible.
drive, but I'm just saying
Terrible argument.
it happens organically. And if these self-driving cars are going to come on the market, thinking about the next generation, have you ever seen the movie WALL-E?
Yeah. Yeah, but you're not. Are you saying we're going to be one of those fat people in the?
Yes.
No, but that's. You don't get less fat by driving everywhere. You get
I'm
less
not,
fat. Maybe,
it's
maybe.
not a,
Okay, we'll solve your problem instantly. We'll add, like, every car now has to have an exercise bike, and it has to be attached to, like, a video game where you play, like, Star Wars and you have to shoot stuff or whatever. There you go. Problem solved.
it's not about being fat. It's about I just don't have to do anything. I just have to sit here and technology is just going to guide me along through life. And I no longer have to think for myself.
You could do other stuff.
Like,
You're doing business while your car's driving you instead. You could be.
yeah, no, I see that's the problem is I think that majority of people are going to take that opportunity to not do those sort of, they're not going to take that time and say, oh, I'm going to use this time now and I'll create a new business, or I'm going to use this time now and do something productive. I think they're going to take that time and, oh, I'm going to go to sleep.
Fine.
Or no, but that's not safe.
What do you mean it's not safe? Look, self-driving cars are going to be, I mean, it's like chess. At first, computers couldn't beat humans at chess. Now a human has no chance against a chess-playing computer. Not even the smartest human, the best chess-playing human in the world, has any chance against a chess-playing computer. And now Go is another game that a human probably can't beat a computer at. And it will be the same with self-driving cars too. They will be better than humans at driving by not just like slightly, but just by like practically an infinite amount. It's just like almost no crashes from cars versus some percentage from humans.
So you would be okay with people in their cars asleep and just letting the cars take them to destinations they're going to?
Yes.
And you would feel safer than having that person.
Well, I mean, look, nowadays I think that the technology is not quite there, but it's very, very close. In 5 years, I think it will be so much better than humans at this.
Wow.
And I think that it's going to be considered unsafe to have humans on the road.
Unbelievable.
I don't understand. So you have many. I think you just don't like the idea because you've gone through like 3 or 4 different arguments against, and I don't think any of them stand really.
Well, that's just your opinion. No, I don't like the idea of it because I think it's heading us down a path to where humans are no longer having to think for themselves, and that's dangerous.
Well,
it's almost as though we're introducing all of these things, but then we're not providing like, okay, now that you've got a self-driving vehicle, you know, this offers you up all this other opportunity and so on and so forth. I don't know. I think
how much thinking do you think the average person does when they're driving?
What do you mean thinking?
Well, what do you mean thinking? The thing that you think is necessary that we'll be doing less of, how much do you think is actually caused by driving?
So I mean, like being aware of like what's going on around them and safety and all those sort of things. So all
how much of that do you think is being done when you're driving? Certainly not consciously.
So there should be a whole lot of it. I know that I'm doing it. Your eyes are constantly moving in the rearview mirror, constantly looking around and seeing what's going on.
Yeah. I would say you do more of it in a video game though. I mean, I don't play video games, so I'm not trying to come across as a video game advocate here, but
Yeah.
but I think that you do far more of that playing not Tetris, but like one of these games where you shoot stuff and look for aliens and stuff like that, or whatever they do in these newfangled games that these kids today are playing.
Kids today. Yeah, no, I'm just thinking that, my daughter's generation, if the only cars available for her when she's ready to get her license is a self-driving vehicle, that's going to be pretty scary, because she is not going to have any responsibility for taking control of that vehicle. Maybe it's maybe I'm a freak.
Yeah, they got two arguments going on there. Look, you have self-driving planes, right? Self-landing planes.
Yeah.
Self-driving cars is a little more complicated because you don't have clear airspace and stuff. But there's the safety thing, but also you're injecting responsibility in there, and I'm not sure which one is your real opposition, or maybe it's like a bit of everything. But
it's a bit.
Safety-wise, I'm sure that it will be proven that self-driving cars are so much safer. Within 5 years, it will be the case, at least, if it's not already. And then, regarding like personal responsibility, I mean, what? I mean, are you against Uber? Are you against taxis? Because that's the same thing.
No.
That you're not taking personal responsibility when a taxi driver or an Uber driver drives you somewhere.
Well, that's different.
So I don't think that's really your argument. I don't think you're right.
It's when you are in the vehicle, you are responsible for that vehicle and everybody's lives in the vehicle. You're taking control. I'm a control freak, I guess. I don't know.
I don't get it. I don't get it. If you're in a bus, you're in a train, you're in a taxi, you're any of these situations, you're not in control or responsible for any of the other people.
And that's perfect. But if I was the driver, I was.
Well, okay, so if there are 4 people in a self-driving car and nobody's sitting in the front and nobody's the driver, what's the problem with that?
I'm not getting in that car. Why would that scenario even happen? Why?
Because that might be a configuration of self-driving cars at some point. They may just like have no front seat or something like that. I mean, the back seat would be the front seat or whatever.
I don't know. That's
so look, your arguments that I've destroyed. One, you can get better mental exercise elsewhere that's safer. 2,
I disagree.
Self-driving cars will actually be much safer than humans, so that's not an issue. 3, which you didn't really bring up, but I'm going to say it anyway. You seem to be concerned generally about humans being less capable than computers, like computers eating away at the things that humans are good at.
Not that humans
that's something you can't resist and is going to happen anyway, and it is what it is.
I think there are some human skills that we should maintain a hold of and not give over to computers. How about that?
But someone would have said, do you know how to use a slide rule?
A what?
There you go. I don't know. It's used in like calculating logarithms in maths. I have no idea how to use it. I never needed to. I just use a calculator if I want to calculate logarithms and stuff.
Like a TI-83 or something.
Yeah. So they used to have log tables and slide rules, and I don't even know really I know log tables, what they're for, but slide rules, I guess it's related.
I'm going to look up some stats on.
Let me finish my thought. My thought is that you are not concerned about that skill that we've lost. You're not concerned that you don't know how to build a mud hut or a house, or like that you don't. You're not concerned about what else? What are the skills of humans lost? That you are. No, that you can't thatch it. You're not concerned that you can't thatch a roof, are you? Why are you not concerned about those skills that we've already lost? Why are you concerned about this thing that will soon be archaic?
Because this is, I don't know, this is just something to me that seems like a tipping point for some reason.
Okay. Maybe it's a tipping point.
It just seems to me to be a tipping point. I don't know, but there's something about it.
It will
Hey,
make
listen.
a lot of. I mean, it'll make a lot of people unemployed. I'm sure of that.
That is true. That is true.
But
Anyway, so I'm going to do some research on some stuff, and maybe I'll challenge you on this.
you admit that you lost.
We'll
Do
see
you
about
admit that you lost?
No.
Admit it.
No. All right, later.
Whatever. Hang on, I'm about to tip you over 4,000 here. Do you want that or not? Hang on.
I'll give you.
All right, there you go. No, that is totally not representative of what actually happened in this debate. All right.
Wow. Bye.
Yeah, bye.